Hello, and welcome to Quiz Coconut's Quickfire Quiz Pod with me, James Cutler. In 2014, I launched Quiz Coconut, and we've since hosted over 2,000 pub quiz nights. Each episode, I pick 10 of our best questions so you can improve your general knowledge, boost your brain power, and learn some useful and useless facts. Answers will be revealed at the end of the episode, and there's one rule: don't use Google.
Use your coconut!
Welcome back to the Quiz Pod, another episode, 10 questions, 15 points. There's no waffle, so let's get straight in. Question 1. True or false? The oldest person who ever lived, who was a lady in France who lived till 122, smoked for 96 years. Number 2. What nationality was explorer Christopher Columbus? I'll give you an extra point if you can tell me in which city he was born. So nationality and city for Christopher Columbus. Number 3 is a 4-point question. I'm going to give you 4 DJs in music that all start with the letter A. I'd like you to tell me which genre of music they're famous for playing. Your DJs are Andy C, Amelie Lenz, Above and Beyond,
Coconut!
and Axwell. Andy C, Amelie Lenz, Above and Beyond, and Axwell. What music do they play? For a point each. Question 4. What common item that we all use, or we should do, was made of an ox bone and horsetail hairs and used as far back as 1200 AD? Question 5, it's time for you to identify the celebrity voices. Quite simply, listen to these people talking and tell me who you think they are. Here's the first voice.
Of course I did, because in Colombia, Married with Children it's been one of the most known and loved comedies in the United States. It was like one of the longest running. It was also 11 years.
The second one.
Came out before I had to go to Hollywood because of a nomination for the Oscars.
And the third one.
I know how to walk. It's like a different persona, that comes on when I'm on stage. Like I know how to walk in heels and, I know how to do that. But in my day-to-day life, me and my dad walk the same.
Hit the rewind button if you need to hear those again. Question 6. Which is the last book of the Bible? Question 7. In Barack Obama's farewell speech, what did he say was the thing that made him the most proud? Question 8. The human body. The eye can see which colour in more shades than any other? Question 9. Which syndrome is named after a bank robbery in 1973 where the hostages started to sympathise with their kidnappers? And finally, number 10. To the nearest 10 metres, how tall is the Elizabeth Tower, which is more commonly known by its nickname Big Ben, which is the name of the bell inside of the tower? How tall is that to the nearest 10 metres? And if you're from the States and you haven't adapted to the metric system yet, you can give me a height in feet if you like, and I will tell you that Big Ben is 10 feet taller than the Statue of Liberty, so that should help you out. So folks, pause the pod if you need more time with anything, but leave it playing if you are ready for today's bad joke.
This is today's bad joke.
there are some people out there who don't believe in the benefits of car washes. Yeah, the anti-waxers.
That was today's bad joke.
So here come the answers, 15 points available. Number 1, true or false, is true. The oldest lady who ever lived, Jeanne Calment, smoked for 96 years. She always had a cigarette after her meals. Number 2, Christopher Columbus was Italian for 1 point, and he was born in Genoa for the 2nd point. Number 3, your DJs. Andy C plays drum and bass. Amelie Lenz plays techno. Above and Beyond, trance, and Axwell, house. 1 point for each. Number 4, the item made out of oxbone and horsetail hair is a toothbrush. Number 5, your celebrity voices. 1 point for each one. Sofia Vergara, Dame Judi Dench, and Zendaya. Number 6, the last book in the Bible is the Book of Revelation. And please take that as gospel. Number 7, Barack Obama said he was most proud of being a dad. Number 8, the human eye can see more shades of green than any other colour. It stems from the old days where we used to hunt. For number 9, the name of the syndrome is Stockholm Syndrome. Named after a bank robbery in 1973, the hostages started to sympathise with the captors after 6 days. They refused to testify against them, and one even got engaged to their captor. If you're interested, the Lima Syndrome is the opposite, where the captors start to sympathise with the hostages. And the London Syndrome is where the hostages argue with the captors, often with deadly results. Those two are also named after real hostage situations. Okay, on to number 10. Big Ben is 100 metres to the nearest 10 metres. It is 96 metres exactly, so to the nearest 10, it's 100. That is 314 feet. If you were guessing in feet, so 310, it's about 10 feet taller than the Statue of Liberty, which is 305 feet or 93 metres. So quizzers, thanks for tuning in for another episode. How did you do? Send us your scores. We'd love to hear from you. quizcoconut.com/podcast. And we will see you next week for a special kids episode. Don't miss it. Bye. If you enjoyed today's quiz, why not book us for your next event? We host corporate events in the UK and Canada and virtual events all over the world. And don't forget to subscribe to the Quiz Pod so you never miss an episode. We'll see you next week. Quiz Coconut, nuts about trivia.